Guys, I'm tuh-KAH-ruh. Welcome back to my channel. As you guys saw in the title, I am going to be doing a fragrance haul in this video. I know it's been a while, and with that being said, I do have a lot of fragrances to show you guys. So this is going to be a combination of fragrances that I picked up myself during this year and then also like the latter half of last year. So all of these were not purchased this year necessarily. And some of them have larger dents than others because either I've had them longer or I just really enjoy the fragrance. You know how it goes. So I have fragrances that I've hauled, fragrances that were gifted to me by friends, family, my boyfriend, and then also I have some PR as well that I want to share with you guys. So with that being said, we're going to jump into the video, but before we do, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel because that really helps my channel out. Also tell me what your scent of the day is down in the comments because I love hearing what you guys are wearing. That said, I'm going to start with my scent of the day. I think I want to touch it up actually. It just smells so good. So my scent of the day is by Skyler, and it is a clean beauty brand. And the fragrance I'm talking about here is Boardwalk Delight. And it's the full size. I don't know if you guys had heard of this fragrance previously, but it used to only be available in a rollerball. I was so happy when they came out with this one. So I finished my rollerball because I got the rollerball first. And then I did still want this in my collection. So I was just gonna go get another rollerball if they didn't come out with a full size fragrance. So I'm so glad they did because I really love this, especially for this time of year. Super hot, but this is like the perfect like hot weather gourmand fragrance because it's not overly sweet. It's more of like that fluffy, airy sweetness that I feel just works really well when it's hot outside. So as the name implies, it's literally like a boardwalk delight. For me, the most prominent notes are the cotton candy, the vanilla note that's in this, and then also it has like this like ocean breeze scent that I feel like lingers in the background. And it literally smells like if you were walking the boardwalk, an oceanside boardwalk that is, and you went to one of the vendors and ordered an ice cream cone, a vanilla ice cream cone, and cotton candy. And it's pink and blue on the background, literally like the pink and blue cotton candy swirled together. And you're just walking the boardwalk, so you have that ocean breeze in the background as well. There's like a slight like sandy saltiness to this fragrance as well that I really love. And I'm obsessed with this. I'd say this is one of my top favorites in general, especially right now. This one and another one I have here in the haul, I've been like alternating between those two fragrances primarily during the summer so far. And yeah, they have me in a chokehold. But yeah, I really enjoy this fragrance. If that sounds nice to you, then I definitely say look into it. It's not a huge projector either, which I feel like is how sweet fragrances need to be if you're gonna be wearing them in the heat, because I feel like when they project a lot and they're sweet, that's when they become overwhelming. But this one is more of a soft to moderate projector. Longevity wise, it lasts on me about 6 hours, which I think is pretty good for this type of fragrance. And I just get like the occasional whiff throughout the day. But again, love this. And I didn't mention, but these are not in any particular order necessarily, but I'm gonna do this one next because this is by Skyler as well. These two are the only ones that I have, I think, that I hauled that are from the same brand. So the next one I have, I keep forgetting how to do this. You can tell I haven't filmed in a minute. Okay, most of these I did just put back in their box. Like I said, some of them have huge dents, so obviously I haven't just held on to these. And the way I do my hauls typically is, if you've watched me, you're familiar, but typically I wear the fragrance for a bit beforehand so I can get an idea of how I genuinely feel about it. And then I come back and show you guys the fragrance, the packaging, all that, and then tell you my thoughts on it. So that's what I did here as well. So the next fragrance I have here is Vanilla Sky by Skyler. And this one I hauled, I believe, at the end of last year. So I have a little bit of a dent. And then also, I have two of these actually. I didn't bring both of them over here, but I picked up one and I was gifted one, I believe, for Christmas from one of my best friends. And she was like, no, I thought you might already have it, because she knows I'm like into fragrance and I have a lot of fragrances. But I had literally just got this one, so that's crazy. But I told her it's fine, because once I'm done with this one, I won't have to worry about having to pick up another bottle myself, so it's gonna come in handy. But yeah, this is Vanilla Sky, and the main notes according to the box are cappuccino, pure vanilla, and caramelized cedar. And since I read those, I'm gonna read the ones for Boardwalk Delight as well. So the key notes for Boardwalk Delight are pure vanilla, cotton candy, and coconut milk. I didn't mention the coconut milk, but I do smell that in this as well. It's just not as prominent to me as the other notes. I feel like it kind of meshes like hand in hand with the vanilla. So think like a vanilla ice cream made with coconut milk. There you go. But yeah, so Vanilla Sky. To me, the note I smell the most in this is the cappuccino note, honestly. But yeah, like a vanilla cappuccino on like a woody base. Or drinking it out of like a wooden mug. Think of something like that. That's what this smells like. I do really like this one, but it's not one that I've found myself like just gravitating toward. I don't know why. When it cools down a bit, I'll probably start reaching for it again a bit more. But it does smell really good. It smells even better to me than I remember right now. So I feel like I might be able to get away with wearing this one in the heat as well, because it's not a huge projector, but there is like this caramelized like syrupy sweetness to it. It's pretty noticeable as well, and like it says caramelized cedar, that's kind of what it smells like, because you smell that woodiness in the background as well. This kind of reminds me of, and not the cappuccino scent, but like that syrupy like caramel or like syrupy like vanilla scent on like that woody base. This is reminding me of Sental Complete by Fragrancebuy. I've never heard anybody say that. I don't know if it's compared to on Fragrantica either, but I just wore a Sental Complete the other day, and that's why I'm saying that now, because I'm like, this smells like something, but like a little bit sweeter than that. And of course it's not an exact of that, because I do smell coconut milk in that one. This one doesn't have a coconut milk note, I don't think. But if you're looking for something that vibes similarly to that, then this might be something to check out. I'm just now realizing that. So now I want to do like a side-by-side comparison. So next here I have a celebrity fragrance, and this is by Britney Spears, and this is Naked Fantasy. When I picked it up, well, not when I picked it up, when my boyfriend purchased it for me, because he got it for me as a gift. But when I got it, I think this was the newest fantasy flanker, but they come out with so many, like so often. I doubt it's the newest one right now. I think I've worn this like once. Oh my bad, I didn't even show you guys the bottle. Y'all have to bear with me, it's been a minute, y'all know. So here's what the bottle looks like. It's just a peach bottle with some jewels on it. It looks like the other fantasy bottles, just a different color. So as the bottle implies, it's a peach fragrance. And it smells good, but there's something about it that, I don't know, like just makes me not reach for it. Like I wore it one time, and the time that I wore it, I did get a compliment. And I can smell it. It has great performance. I feel like most of the fantasy fragrances that I've tried have had good performance. So it's in line with that, but this one is more of a fresh take on the fantasy fragrance. This is like more of your like spring, summer fantasy fragrance. So you smell that peach, but it still has the fantasy DNA. To me, it just smells like they took these sweeter notes out of the fragrance, and you're left with like the fruity notes. So there is still like that like tart, sour fruitiness that you get from that kiwi note in the original. But then there's like an added peach note, and the peach note here, it kind of smells like a fresh peach, but like on a perfumey base, if that makes sense. Yeah, it smells really good. I just don't reach for it. Like I said, I think I've only worn this once, and I've had it for a little while. So I don't know, she might not stay, but we'll see. I'm gonna play around with it some more. So next here I have a fragrance from Victoria's Secret, and this is Bear. Y'all don't sleep on Victoria's Secret fragrances, at least not all of them. This is one that I feel like definitely should not be slept on, because I feel like a lot of people would really like it. So here's what the bottle looks like. You can't really see the words on it because I've used so much. Yeah, the dent is huge. I think I told y'all in one of my other videos that there was a point in time where I was just like more into wearing like more of the like your skin but better fragrances, and I consider this one of those types of fragrances. So to me, this smells like it has like an ambery note to it. But then there's also something that smells a bit herbal to me as well, not overly. But I don't know how else to describe that. The scent that I'm getting. Like, this is one that's supposed to blend with your natural skin chemistry and then create like a scent that's unique to you. Basically, nobody's gonna smell like you even if they're wearing this fragrance because it's supposed to interact with your natural skin chemistry. So on me, it pulls more ambery and like a musky, like airy ambery scent, almost like if you had like an amber flavored marshmallow. That's kind of how it pulls on my skin. But then something that, like earthy, that's more appropriate. That's the term I was looking for. More of like an earthy undertone to it as well. On the box it says the keynotes are Australian sandalwood, Egyptian violet, and Mandarin Madagascar. I don't necessarily smell those when I wear this fragrance. This isn't like a sweet scent, but there's a sweetness to it. A light, like I said, airy sweetness. I feel like how it smells here on the lid is how it pulls on my skin. So I recommend you guys just going and trying it. You know, if you like those your skin but better scents, more of those like musky, like natural, non-perfumey smelling fragrances, then I think you might enjoy this. But yeah, as you can see, I do really enjoy it just based on the dent. I've had this one for a little while, I think, as well. I probably got this around the end of last year as well, actually. But once I use it up, I do believe that I would repurchase because I do like having this in my collection. And I typically wear it by itself, but it probably is one of those scents that you can layer with a bunch of other scents as well to like create new scents. All right, so the next fragrance I have here is Serendipity 3 Serendipities. And this is one that Johnny talks about a whole lot. So she's how I discovered this fragrance. I think I had a video where I smelled some samples. I can't remember if this was one of the ones that was in there or not. I believe it was though. But I've been wanting to pick this up for a minute. I don't know why I didn't pick it up because it's not that expensive. I think it's only like $50 on Lucky Scent, and that's for 50 mils. So I don't know. They were probably charging shipping, and I don't like paying for shipping, so that probably helped me up. But I got this from Mercari. As you can see, it's the older bottle, and mine doesn't have a cap. It came without the cap. When I purchased it, it was about half full, so I've used about half of that since I've had it. This one is one of those soft, close to skin gourmands. And there's something that smells marshmallowy about it. So maybe even like a chocolate dipped orange flavored marshmallow. It's airy, but it's still sweet, not overly sweet. It just smells yummy. I like spraying this on for bed and just like cuddling up to the scent. Like I said, it doesn't really project that much. I don't know if people would smell it on you if you wore it out by itself, but it is a good one to like layer with other sweet fragrances or whatever you want to layer it with, honestly. I do believe when I wore this to work though, one time I got a compliment, but don't quote me. So maybe it does leave a bit of a scent trail, but as far as like projection, I don't think it projects a whole lot. But it does smell yummy and I'm happy to have it. I think it's worth a try. Lucky Scent sells samples of it, I'm pretty sure, because I'm pretty sure that's how I tried it the first time. So definitely, you know, give it a try if that sounds interesting to you. It's compared to Al Rehab's Choco Musk, I think. I have the roll-on of that. I feel like that one is more chocolatey than this is. I feel like this is more like fluffy. Yeah, if that makes sense. That one is more like cocoa powder or like hot chocolate. And this is more airy, marshmallowy. So the next one I have here is Coach Dreams Sunset. I love the box, look how pretty. And here is what the bottle looks like. And yeah, man, it's still mostly full, as you guys can see. I like this fragrance, but it's just not one that I find myself reaching for. And I think the reason why is because there's an underlying soapiness to it that reminds me kind of how like Dove soap smells, like a Dove bar soap, or like Ivory bar soap. Maybe more so Ivory, because the soapiness I feel is pretty prominent in this fragrance. Now, it is compared to Good Girl, and it does kind of smell like Good Girl as well. It does have like that like tonka bean scent, but this smells to me like it might have like a prominent jasmine note in it. I'm actually curious, so let me look her up. But it has that deepness as well, and then that slight like masculine edge that Good Girl has. This is like kind of like I'd say like the spring summer version of Good Girl, if you could think of one. Just think how Good Girl smells, and then Dove bar soap or Ivory bar soap. So if you were able to find like a bar soap that had like the Good Girl scent, that's what this smells like to me. Yeah, it has jasmine. No wonder. Now, I feel like the jasmine is definitely the most prominent note. It has tonka and vanilla as well. So yeah, I think the tonka and the vanilla probably was making it smell kind of similar to Good Girl. But the top notes are pear ice cream, bergamot. The middle notes are jasmine and magnolia, and the base notes are vanilla and tonka bean. What intrigued me about this is the pear ice cream note, and I feel like I don't really smell it that much. I've never had pear ice cream, but I don't smell pear necessarily. I guess there is a bit of a crispness to it that I guess could be coming from that pear. And now that I see the bergamot note, it does have like a zestiness as well that I kind of just meshed in with like that soapy scent. But it does smell really good. I feel like now that I've smelled it again, I kind of want to wear it. I can't remember how the weather was when I wore it. It might have been a bit cooler. So it could have been like end of winter, beginning of spring. And that might have been why it kind of was off-putting to me. If it was cooler outside, the soapiness was probably more pronounced. Now that it's hot, then I feel like it might amplify the sweet notes a little bit more and take away from the soapiness. So I'm gonna try it again. I've kept it because it does smell really good. I didn't feel like I necessarily wanted to just like get rid of it immediately. So I'm gonna give her some more chances. I think I've only worn it like twice. All right, so the next fragrance I have here is I Want You Forever by Jimmy Choo. And here is what the bottle looks like. Mine looks dingy. But as you can see, she has a good dent because I have been wearing it. So this is a flanker of the original I Want You, but this one has a cherry note instead of a peach note. So that really intrigued me. That cherry note here is just so juicy. It smells like a sour cherry because it's like tart, juicy, sour. It's not like overly sweet. And just like the original, it does kind of still smell like it could be a flanker of Good Girl, but that's more toned down in this one. This one I feel like is less similar to Good Girl than the I Want You is. That cherry note adds like an effervescence to this. It almost reminds me of like how a sour cherry champagne would taste maybe. This one smells so good to me. And then there's also like an underlying sweetness. I don't know what the sweet note is, maybe like vanilla. But yeah, so just think of that. Sounds crazy, but that's the best way I can describe this because to me this smells pretty unique. It does have a vanilla note. So what's making I think those fragrances smell similar to Good Girl is the tonka bean note that's in them, because tonka bean is like the most prominent note, at least to my nose, in Good Girl. So yeah, this one has top notes of bitter almond, rose, has middle notes of cherry, vetiver, and jasmine, and then it has base notes of vanilla, tonka bean, oak moss, and amber. But this is really good. If you like the original I Want You, I think you would enjoy this one as well if you like cherry. If you like the original for the peach note, then I'd recommend trying it out first. Between the two, I think I prefer I Want You Forever on me. I just love how this smells. I think probably because I prefer a cherry note over a peach note personally, but I will say I get way more compliments when I wear the I Want You than I do I Want You Forever. So I guess other people like how the other one smells on me more. I don't know if I've gotten any compliments with this one, and y'all saw it has a pretty big dent. And I don't go out looking for compliments. I've expressed to you guys before that I live somewhere where it's not very common for people to compliment you on your fragrance in general. So I think I Want You is just an outlier because it's probably one of my top complimented fragrances, period. Because just about any time I wear it, I get a compliment. But yeah, I still really like this one. And I think if it sounds good to you, you guys should check it out. So the next fragrance I have here is by Marc Jacobs, and this is Perfect Intense. I've smelled the original as well. I don't have it, but I smelled it and I liked it. I just didn't feel like it was one that I needed in my collection. This one does still maintain that DNA, I feel, but then it just has like the added like almond on top of it, and it makes it a bit deeper. Whoops. It makes it more sexy. The almond does. So here's what the bottle looks like. So this one was gifted to me by my boyfriend as well. It was one of the fragrances that I had on my perfume wish list that never ends. I don't really reach for this one that much either. I like it, but it smells really perfumey to me. And y'all know what I mean. And there's nothing wrong with a fragrance smelling perfumey, because I don't mind that typically, but I just have to be in the mood to wear this because I find it to be pretty strong. It is intense, like the name implies. But I do prefer this to the original because it still has like that fruity, like tart rhubarb note. Well, it doesn't, I don't think it has it listed, but I do still smell it here. It's just not as pronounced because it has like the almond that's adding like a bit of nuttiness to it, and it gives it more depth. And this one I find to be a little bit sweeter as well. I do still feel like this one can be worn year round because it's not overly sweet, but I just would use a lighter hand, especially like in the warmer months if wearing it then. But I'm curious to look up these notes. I'm not gonna look up the notes for all of them, y'all. I'm telling y'all there's almond, there might not even be an almond note. It smells like it. Yeah, it has an almond note, so I was right about that. Yeah, this one is more floral, and you know what? It probably smells so perfumey because it has the night blooming jasmine note. I smelled it in another fragrance as well. It's like jasmine on steroids. I didn't like it in the fragrance that I smelled it in. I think it was like the pink alien. I forgot what it's called, Futura. I didn't like it. And that one had that as like the most prominent notes. And it has narcissus as well. I don't know what that smells like though. And then the middle note is almond, and the base note is sandalwood. Like I said, it doesn't list the rhubarb, but I still get the fruitiness here. And I feel like this is like an actual flanker. It maintains the DNA of the original, but you know, just added a few other notes as well that changes it ever so. Well, it's not slightly. It's a pretty noticeable change, but not so much that you can't still smell the DNA of the original in it. But I do like this one. I should wear it more because it doesn't get as much love. Yeah. We'll see. And I realized I haven't been talking about the performance for all of them. If there's any I didn't mention the performance on, and you guys are curious about how it performs on me, then you can ask me down in the comments and I will let you know. But just keep in mind, if you're new here, I rarely have issues with performance from a fragrance. So do with that what you will. All right, next I have a KAH-ruh fragrance, and this is Musk 12. So no, it's not one of the newer ones. I've been wanting this one for a good minute though, because I've sampled I think I sampled all of the base fragrances that came out with the originals. And this was one that really surprised me because I didn't think I would want this. So as you can see, the dent is massive because this is one I really enjoy wearing to work. This is just a really like inoffensive fragrance. It is a musk base, so musk is the most prominent note, but the musk note here kind of reminds me of like cotton in a sense. Yeah, that's what it smells like how cotton would smell. And then it has a very prominent vanilla note. I think it's Tahitian vanilla, if I'm not mistaken.
Nope.
It's almost like a bit tropical smelling. The vanilla note here is. The only thing I smell is the vanilla and the musk. And together, like the cottony aspect of the musk with the vanilla kind of reminds me of like a marshmallow. This smells like a marshmallow to me, but not like a straight up marshmallow because like I said, it does smell, the musk does smell cottony. It just gives like that airy, light, fluffy sweetness that I would get from a marshmallow. If you like musk and you like vanilla and you like your musk with vanilla, then I definitely think this is the one you should try. For me, the magic happens when you put it on your skin. I feel like that's a common theme with musk fragrances in general. It just smells 10 times better on skin than it does from the bottle or like on a tester strip. So if you've only ever tried this on a tester strip, I would recommend trying it on your skin to see how you really feel about it. Love this. I wear it majority of the time. I'm wearing this by itself. I know some people use it to layer with because musk fragrances usually make like a good base, especially if you're trying to increase the performance of a fragrance without altering the scent profile a little bit too much. But I like this a lot by itself, especially for work, like I said, because it's very inoffensive. It's just gonna smell like you are clean, and then maybe like with a little hint of vanilla. And it's like more of a soft scent, obviously. I think that's pretty expected, I guess, from a musk fragrance. It's not like a huge projector, but I can smell it when I'm wearing it. All right, next I have Burberry the Elixir. So Burberry Elixir de Purple. And here's what it looks like. I got the little baby one because I didn't feel like I needed the big one, because honestly, I think I told you guys in the video not that long ago. Well, probably it's been a while, but you know, one of my more recent fragrance videos that I haven't really been feeling this scent profile. And I decluttered the original her, I think because I knew I would be picking this one up. Or no, I decluttered it for the Daisy Intense, I think. I can't remember, y'all. But this one still maintains the original's DNA. So it still has that fruity, strawberry to be specific, but like an artificial strawberry scent to me. Like the little strawberry filled candies. That's kind of what the strawberry note here smells like to me. You know, those little strawberry candies with the strawberry filling in the middle. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Unless you're too young. But yeah, that's how the strawberry note in this fragrance smells. But then also, this one I feel like has a more prominent vanilla fragrance. So it kind of gives off the scent of like strawberries and cream in a sense. Because it's not the authentic natural strawberries and cream scent. It's like that strawberry candy and cream. But it still smells good to me. I just have to be in the mood for this because it's potent. It says elixir and it acts like an elixir. So if you had like performance issues with the original her, I would recommend giving this one a try. It's a little bit sweeter than that one and it's a bit more dense, but not overly so. It's not like a super heavy fragrance. I feel like this one can still be worn year round as well, just like with a lighter hand when it's warmer outside. Yeah, I do really like this one. I feel like this is the perfect size for me because I don't reach for it all the time. I just reach for it when I'm in the mood to smell like that. Next fragrance I have here is Eyelash by Billie Eilish, and this is the original Eyelash. And here's what the bottle looks like. I know it's controversial, but I love it. It looks like a piece of art to me. When this one first came out, I wasn't interested because I watched reviews and I'm like, okay, that doesn't sound like something I'm gonna like. But to me, the most prominent note that I get on my skin with this is that amber note. And the only reason I picked this up is because when me and Maria went to Orlando to visit Becky, we went to Ulta and they had the tester for this on display. And so I'm like, might as well smell it. We're here now. Because I had just written it off. I was not planning to get a sample or anything. I was just like, I don't need it. But I smelled it. I'm like, that smells really good. I had sprayed it, I think, on the back of my hand because I like the taste on skin, because we know it can smell different on paper than on skin. But the amber in this kind of, to me, in my nose, it's like that crystallized sugary amber scent. And it almost smells effervescent in this because there's like a fizziness, especially when you first spray it, and then as it dries down you start getting more of like is it cocoa? Like cocoa powder and vanilla. But I feel like with the vanilla added, it's not overly powdery. Like the cocoa powder note is a bit powdery, but with the vanilla it kind of tones down the powderiness and adds a bit of creaminess as well. But if you like gourmand fragrances and especially amber, I think you should probably test this out at the very least. I think you would really enjoy this. I love it. And when I wear it, I like drown myself in it. It's delicious smelling to me. Oh, and performance on this one is decent. I get about 6 hours of wear. It's not like extremely long lasting, but it lasts decently. And I feel like after like the first hour, it becomes more close to the skin on me. You'll get the occasional whiff, but it doesn't like project hugely. So I feel like you could get away with wearing this when it's warmer outside, probably more so at nighttime in the summer. But in spring, you can probably wear it day or night because it's not overly sweet in my opinion, and it's not like a huge projector. So last one I'm gonna mention for now as a part of the haul, because I have two more that I hauled myself, but I'm gonna mention them after I mention one of the ones in PR because it's the reason why I picked it up, so I'm gonna save that for the end. But the next fragrance I have here is Sweet Tooth by Sabrina Carpenter. That's what the box looks like. And here is the bottle. It looks like a little pink chocolate bar. It's cute. So this one went viral, I believe, on like TikTok. I don't watch TikTok You know, sometimes TikTok trickles over onto Instagram. So if you like Cloud by Ariana Grande, I feel like you will like this. It's that airy, musky, sweet fragrance. This one I feel like maybe even a bit sweeter than Cloud is though. To me, it smells like a chocolate marshmallow on a musky base. That's what I'm getting right now. I can't remember how I described it when I did my reel on Instagram. And I haven't worn it in a minute either. I need to wear it again. But that's what I'm getting. This one doesn't smell as musky to me as Cloud does. So if that was part of your issue with Cloud, then maybe try this one, because to me it's quite a bit less musky and focuses in more on the sweeter notes than the musk. It's definitely not a fragrance that I feel is complex by any means, but it's a nice fragrance to have, and I feel like this is another one that is gourmand, but it could still be worn in hot weather because it's not overly sweet, it's not a huge projector, and it has that musk element that keeps it from being too dense. So yeah, I do enjoy this fragrance. I need to wear it a bit more. I might break this video up into 2 parts.